Alberta's Premier Danielle Smith recently had significant discussions with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump, highlighting the intricate and evolving relationship between Canada and the United States. This meeting took place at Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence and golf club over the weekend, with Smith attending as a guest of Canadian businessman and celebrity investor Kevin O'Leary. During these discussions, various topics were addressed, particularly concerning economic and trade relations. While the specifics of the conversation remained somewhat private, Smith emphasized the need for Canada to be vigilant and prepared for potential economic challenges that could arise from the incoming U.S. administration. She expressed that, although she does not want to make assumptions about future policies or actions, the looming possibility of tariffs being implemented was a critical issue that could affect Canadian industries and the economy. This statement reflects a broader concern among Canadian leaders about the unpredictability of trade relations with the U.S., especially under a government led by Trump, who has historically favored protectionist measures. In her remarks, Smith underscored the mutual importance of the relationship between Canada and the U.S. This sentiment is echoed by many in both countries who recognize that the two nations share not only a long border, but also deep economic ties. The interdependence of the Canadian and American economies is significant, with a substantial amount of trade flowing between them. For example, Canada is one of the largest trading partners of the U.S., and many Canadian industries rely heavily on access to the American market. Smith's assertion that she had a friendly conversation with Trump suggests an openness to dialogue and cooperation, despite the potential for contentious issues, such as tariffs, to arise. The tone of their meeting could signal a willingness to engage constructively in discussions that might mitigate some of the expected challenges. Kevin O'Leary's involvement in this dialogue is particularly noteworthy. Known for his investments and media presence, O'Leary is proposing the establishment of a massive AI data center in northern Alberta, which he believes could bolster the region's economy significantly. His vision for this project aligns with broader trends in technology and data management, potentially positioning Alberta as a hub for innovation. O'Leary has also suggested the idea of creating an economic union between Canada and the U.S., a concept that could have profound implications for trade, investment, and regulatory alignment. While this idea is ambitious and would require extensive negotiation and collaboration, it highlights the ongoing discussion about how to strengthen the economic ties between the two nations in a way that benefits both sides. The mention of threatened tariffs brings to light several important considerations for Canadian policymakers. Tariffs can have far-reaching effects on various sectors, particularly those involved in manufacturing, agriculture, and resource extraction. If implemented, tariffs could lead to increased costs for Canadian exporters, making their products less competitive in the U.S. market. This could, in turn, impact job creation and economic growth in Canada. Moreover, the threat of tariffs can create uncertainty in the business environment, leading companies to reconsider their investment strategies and operational plans. Canadian businesses may need to prepare for a range of scenarios, including diversifying their markets or adjusting their supply chains to mitigate potential impacts from U.S. trade policies. In light of the discussions between Smith and Trump, it is essential for Canadian leaders to strategize on how to navigate the complexities of U.S.-Canada trade relations. This includes fostering strong communication channels with the incoming administration and advocating for policies that support mutual benefits. Building a collaborative future may involve addressing shared challenges, such as climate change, energy security, and technological innovation. By focusing on areas of common interest, both nations can work towards a more integrated approach that enhances economic resilience and fosters growth. In the context of shifting political dynamics, it becomes increasingly vital for Canadian leaders to engage proactively with their U.S. counterparts. Premier Smith's meetings with Trump represent a strategic opportunity to shape the narrative surrounding Canada-U.S. trade relations. By fostering a positive and collaborative atmosphere, Smith can help mitigate the risks associated with potential tariffs and other trade barriers. Diplomacy plays a crucial role in managing international relations, particularly when it comes to trade. The ability to communicate effectively and build relationships with U.S. officials will be essential for Smith and her administration. This includes not only direct conversations with the president, but also engaging with members of the new administration, who will be instrumental in shaping policy. Smith's experience and understanding of the importance of maintaining open lines of communication could set the tone for future interactions. Establishing a rapport with the incoming administration could lead to more favorable outcomes for Canada, as both sides work to address shared interests and concerns. The idea of an economic union between Canada and the U.S., as proposed by O'Leary, deserves careful consideration. Such a union could facilitate seamless trade and investment, allowing businesses to operate across the border with fewer restrictions. By aligning regulations and standards, both nations could enhance competitiveness in the global market. 1. Increased trade efficiency. An economic union could reduce tariffs and quotas, leading to increased trade volumes. This would be especially beneficial for industries that rely heavily on cross-border supply chains. 2. Investment opportunities. A more integrated economic framework could attract foreign investment, as companies might be more inclined to invest in a region where they can access both Canadian and U.S. markets without significant barriers. 3. Job creation. By fostering a more robust economic environment, an economic union could lead to job creation across various sectors. Increased business activity could stimulate demand for labor, benefiting both Canadian and American workers. 4. Innovation and technology sharing. Enhanced collaboration could promote innovation by allowing companies to share technology and resources more freely. This could be particularly impactful in sectors such as technology, energy, and manufacturing. While the potential benefits of an economic union are significant, several challenges must be addressed to make such a vision a reality. These include 1. Regulatory alignment. Divergent regulations and standards between Canada and the U.S. can complicate trade. Achieving a unified regulatory framework would require extensive negotiation and compromise. 2. Political will. Both Canadian and American governments must be committed to the idea of an economic union. This may require overcoming domestic political pressures and interest groups that oppose greater integration. 3. Public perception. Gaining public support for an economic union will be essential. Leaders must effectively communicate the benefits and address any concerns about sovereignty, job loss, or other potential downsides. 4. Cultural differences. Canada and the U.S. have distinct cultural identities, and any move toward greater economic integration must respect these differences. Ensuring that both nations feel valued and represented in the partnership is crucial. In light of potential tariffs and other trade challenges, it is imperative for Canadian businesses and government officials to develop contingency plans. Proactive measures can help mitigate the impacts of any adverse trade policies that may arise. 1. Market diversification. Canadian businesses should consider diversifying their markets to reduce dependence on the U.S. This could involve exploring opportunities in emerging markets or strengthening trade relationships with other countries. 2. Supply chain resilience. Companies can enhance their supply chain resilience by establishing alternative suppliers and logistics routes. This flexibility can help mitigate the risks associated with tariffs or disruptions in trade. 3. Advocacy and engagement. Businesses can engage in advocacy efforts to influence trade policy. By working with industry associations and government representatives, companies can voice their concerns and promote policies that support their interests. 4. Investment in innovation. Focusing on innovation can provide Canadian businesses with a competitive edge. Investing in research and development can lead to new products and services that meet the evolving needs of consumers. As Premier Danielle Smith navigates the complexities of U.S.-Canada relations, her recent meetings with Donald Trump serve as a critical reminder of the importance of diplomacy and proactive engagement. The potential for tariffs and other trade challenges requires a thoughtful and strategic approach to ensure that Canadian interests are represented and protected. The idea of an economic union between Canada and the U.S. presents an exciting opportunity for collaboration and growth. While challenges exist, the potential benefits of increased trade, investment, and innovation are worth pursuing. By fostering strong relationships, advocating for mutual interests, and preparing for various scenarios, both nations can work towards a prosperous future together. In the coming months and years, the dialogue between Canada and the U.S. will be pivotal in shaping economic landscapes. Through cooperative efforts and a commitment to shared goals, both countries can navigate the complexities of international trade, ensuring that they remain strong partners in an ever-changing global environment. Ultimately, the success of these initiatives will depend on the willingness of both nations to collaborate, adapt, and innovate in the face of challenges. The future of Canada-US relations is bright, provided that leaders like Premier Smith continue to engage constructively and work towards a common vision.